Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about word problems for linear systems of equations, so here we go. Alright, so the first thing we have to do with our first problem is you got to read the stupid thing. Adult tickets to a movie cost $3 more than student tickets. When 412 adult and 339 students are in attendance and the sales of the show were $3,864.50, how many of each type of ticket were purchased? Okay, so when we're doing something like this, we're going to be dealing with a lot of different things here. Okay, so let's start with adults and students. We'll make the adults equivalent to X. We'll make the students, equivalent to Y. Now I know, given information, there are 412 adults and there's going to be 339 students. And I know there's total money involved of $3,864.50. But one of the key features we have to worry about is this. This is going to set up our second equation. Okay. So to start, our first equation's all going to be about money quantity, right? So we know that there are 412 adults. Okay. And then there's going to be 339 students, and that's going to equal to $3,864.50. Okay, the second one's going to be all about our money in terms of the cost. So at this point, we've got to deal with this. Now this is where the tricky part lies in. Okay, is we need to make these two values, the adults and the students, the same. But I know adults are $3 more than, so most students think to do this. A plus 3 is equal to S. But that's not the case here. Because of the fact that, I got a little ahead of myself here. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to make these balanced. Because most students see should be this, but it's not. Okay, so what we're going to do, okay, to make these the same, the adults are $3 more. So adults, to be equal to student tickets, okay, we either have to declare that the adults minus 3 is equal to the student, or we have to declare that the student is plus 3 is equal to adult. Okay, so I'm going to use the first one here. I like this one better. Now we just have to be careful with, remember this was really Y and this is really X. So Y is equal to X minus 3. Okay, so now at this point, now we're going to solve the system. I'm going to use substitution method here because I know what Y is. So 412x plus 339 times x minus 3 is going to equal to 3,864.50. Distribute. 12x plus 339x minus, so we're going to do 339 times 3. So I need my calculator for this. 39 times 3. I get 1017 equals 3,864.50. Now I'm going to combine my like terms here. 412 plus 339 get 751x minus 1017 equaling 3,864.50. I gotta shrink this. Okay, so now I'm gonna move this over. 1017. So I get 751x is equal to 0.50. So 3,864.5 plus 17. Get 4,881.50. We divide by 751. So x is equal to 751. I get x is equal to 6.5. So that means adult tickets are $6.50. Okay, so then we're going to come back. We know that adults are $6.50. Okay. So to figure for students, adult minus 3. So therefore student is going to equal to 650 minus 3. So student equals 350. So my ordered pair here for X and Y, it was 650 for the adults, and we had 350 for the student. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, so scooch us up here. Man has 3 times as many dimes than quarters and 2 more nickels than quarters. Okay, he has 790 and change. How many coins do he have? So again, let's start with our coins. So we have dimes, we have quarters, and we have nickels. So let's start with our values.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
What's
going on with that hair?
0.25. And then 0.05. Okay.
What time is it?
So now at this point, let's get our quantities. Okay, man has 3 times as many dimes as quarters and 2 more nickels than quarters. So our common feed here is going to be the quarters, so that gets X. Okay, now to be 3 times as many as that, that's going to be 3X for the dimes. And nickels is going to be 2 more than, so X plus 2. Okay. So now at this point, we're going to start creating our equation. So again, let's start our equation first with the money. So we have 0.10 times 3x plus 0.25 times x plus 5x plus 2. That's going to equal 790. Okay. So now at this point, okay, we're going to just distribute. So 0.3x plus 0.25y, or x, sorry, still x, plus 0.05 plus 0.1 is equal to 790. Now this really isn't a system because we don't have more than one variable. This is going to be an easy one to solve. Let's put this together. 55, that's going to be 0.60x plus 0.1 is equal to 790 minus the 0.1. 0.60x equals 7.8, and then divide by 0.6. X is equal to, okay, so 7.8 divided by 0.6 gives us 13. Okay, so now we're going to go back. X is 13. Adding 2 to this is 15. 3 times 13 is 39. All right, so there's that one. So let's go to the next one. All right, so here's more of a traditional kind of question where it uses the system. Hannah bought 850 transferable tattoos for $213. Some are 15 cents, some are 35 cents. How many of each type did she buy? So again, starting off, this is going to be a money quantity problem. And the reason why I call money quantity is because one equation is going to be about the money, the other equation is going to all be about the quantities. Okay, so we have some 15-cent tattoos. So we have the 15 cent, we have the 35 cent. Okay. Now I don't know how many of each type she bought, but she bought 850 in total. So to start, I'm going to make this X. Let's make this Y. So we're going to do 0.15X plus 0.35Y. It's going to equal to 213.90. The second equation is going to be all about our quantities. Now I don't know specifically how many of the 15 cents, so that just gets X. I don't know specifically about the 35, so that's just Y. But I know we bought 850 of these things. Whoops, that looks terrible. So 850. Okay. So now at this point, now we have our equation. Okay. So I'm going to use elimination here. Okay, so I'm going to pick the x's to go after here. So I'm going to times the bottom one by 0.15, the top one by just 1. So I get 0.15x plus 0.35y equals 21390. Then I'm going to have 0.15x plus 0.15y is equal to, so we're going to do 850 times 0.15 gives us 127.5. Okay, but now my problem is if I add down now, the x's still remain, so I have to tweak one of the equations. So I'm going to change the signs on the bottom one. Okay, so the x's cancel. I'm going to have 0.2y is equal to, so 213.9 minus 127.5, 864.4, or 86.4, sorry. And then divide by 0.2. Therefore, y is equal to 432. Okay, so now that I have y, now I can go back and get x. So I'm going to pick this equation right here and bring it aside here. So I'm just going to substitute. So x plus 432 equals 850. Okay, I'm going to minus 432. So x is going to equal to, this is going to be 814. So x is 418. So I'm going to move this a little bit so I can write my final answer. In ordered pair format, we have 418 of the 15 cent. We have 432 of the 35 cent. All right, so there's that one. Go to the next one. All right. Local admission to a local skate park is $2.25 for adult and 50 cents per student. On Friday afternoons, there were 520 people in the park. The receipts were $391.25. How many students' tickets were bought? So again, this is another money quantity question. Okay, so we're going to have the adults. We're going to have student. And we know adults is $2.25, but I don't know how many, so it's X. Student tickets are 50 cents, and I don't know anything about that, so we'll give it Y. So for our money quantity, 2.25x plus 0.5y is going to equal to 391.25. Okay. The second equation is all about our quantities. Well, I don't know how many adults, I don't know how many students, but I do know there's 520 total people in the park. Okay, so we have this. All right, so now at this point, I am going to use elimination again. Okay, so I'm going to go after the y's this time. So we have, I'm going to tweak this equation by 1s and this one by 0.5s. So 2.25x plus 0.5y equals 391.25. 0.5x plus 0.5y is going to equal to 520 divided by 2 is going to be 260. And again, just like before, if I go after the y's, they won't cancel, so we got to do that. So let's tweak the signs, negative, negative, and negative. So I add down, I'm going to get 1.75x. The y's cancel. So 0.25. So I have a 1, a 3, and a 1. So we have 131.25. Okay. So now at this point, we're going to solve the equation. Divide by 1.75. Okay, so x is going to equal to, let me get my calculator. So we're going to have 131.25 divided by 175. I get x is 75. That's great. So now let's go back. I'm going to grab this equation. So 75 for the x. Y I don't know, but it's going to equal 520 people. Minus the 75s. So y is equal to, so 520 minus 75. I get 445. So in ordered pair format, we have 75 of the adults, and we're going to have 445 of the students. And there's that one. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, Tim and Sean work at a job together. Sean worked 9 hours more than Tim did in a week. Their sum of their hours is 75. How many hours did each person work? So we have Tim, we have Sean. Now, again, this is kind of like money quantity, but again, we have to be careful because this is just like the first one. Okay, so we know Tim, let's make Tim X, let's make Sean Y. So Tim plus Sean is equal to 75 hours. But now, here's the catch. Sean worked 9 hours more, but we need to make sure that this is balanced. Sean and Tim, okay? So Sean, if you're looking at Tim, you take Sean hours minus 9 to balance this out. And this is the confusing part about this. You have to think about it. Or if you're going to work the other side, Sean actually worked Tim's hours plus 9. So again, all depends on how you want to look at it. I'm going to go with this route. Okay, so Sean was y minus 9 is going to equal to x. So I'm just going to write that into my equation as x is equal to y minus 9. Okay, now I'm set for substitution, so I'm going to do that. So this is going to go in for the x. Y minus 9 plus y equals 75. I'm going to add the 9 and put these together. So 2y equals 84. So y equals 42. All right, so now we're going to go here. Let's go get x. X is equal to 42 minus 9. 9. So x equals 33. So my final answer, we had 33 hours for Tim. We had 42 hours for Sean. All right, next one. Okay. A plumber charges you a fixed cost to show up and then charges you per hour for labor. For 3 hours of work, he'll charge you $146. For 5 hours of work, he charges you $210. Find the fixed cost and the rate per hour. Now, fixed cost basically is both equations is going to get X. The reason being, that's what he gets charged. Just to pull up in your driveway, he charges you X bucks. So both equations, you're going to start with X. Okay. Now, then he charges you per hour. Okay. Now, for one scenario, 3 hours, he charges you $146. So for 3 hours of work, he charges you $146. Okay. For 5 hours of work, he charges $210. So 5y is equal to 210. And guess what? There's our system. All right, so again, I'm going to use elimination here. Okay, so again, I'm going to tweak this top equation here, negatives. Okay, so add down, I'm going to get 2y is equal to, I need my calculator for this, so we're going to have 210 minus 146, you get 64, so y equals 32. So he charges you $32 just to start working and doing his work. That's his labor hour. Now let's go back. Now the nice thing is I'm going to get rid of the negatives because I can do that. And I'm going to pick that top equation to work from. Okay, so x plus 3 times 32 equals 146. X plus 96 equals 146. Minus the 96. Therefore, X is equal to 50. Okay? So, in layman's terms, this guy charges you 50 bucks just to show up, so that's his fixed rate. Then he's going to charge you $32 per hour for labor. All right, so there's that one. All right, so that's the end of this video. Hopefully you learned a lot, and I will see you next time.